you so much. What a blessing that today we are here to share the story with everyone. And what a blessing that this story comes during the day here in Kenya. And of course, there is where it is coming in the morning. What a blessing that again you are able to connect with me. Go to Apostle Patrick Muriithi Nyaga live, of course. We'll be talking to you. This is a story with Apostle Patrick. For some time now, I've not been able to come to you, but so many people have called and said, what happened with the story? The stories are there. Sometimes it's just because of time. But I was able to set some time today and they share with us. I want to talk about brotherly love. This is a story of two people, Jesse. One of my friends, one of my friends was giving me this story, which I want to share. And there were two friends. One of them, they loved each other so much. But this one man and a brother and his sisters, he never valued them at all. But he and a brother that, you know the way the Bible says, there is a brother who sticks closer. There's a friend who sticks closer than a brother. And it so happened that they were so good friends that he didn't care about his brothers and his sisters. So this one day, somebody told him, in as much as you are friends, it's good to take care of your brothers and sisters. I was like, oh, my brothers and sisters, you know, they are like this. I don't care about them. After all, I have this good friend. And they were friends, not 1 year, not 2 years, many years. They had children, of course, and children knew this is a friend of my father who is better than our uncles and our aunties. So one day he thought, maybe I need to test whether what I'm told about, you know, this friend and my brothers is true. So what did he do? One day he slaughtered a nice goat and he cooked it, some barbecue. And then he sent one of the kin and said, go tell my friend, the neighbors, I have killed someone incidentally to come and help me. So the son ran to the friend and said, Daddy is calling you. He has killed someone incidentally and he wants you to come and help. The man sent the child and said, go tell your father to call his relatives. Let him call his family. Let him call his brothers. So the child came and said, Daddy, amekwambia uite ndugu zako. The man was so moved. Remember, they were not talking with a brother. They were not talking with the sisters. He was just by himself. So he ran and he told the child, go tell the same to my brother. Remember, they have not been talking. Many years not talking. So the child ran to the brother. He said, Uncle, how are you? Daddy has sent me to you. And he says, come help him. By mistake, he has killed, or incidentally, he has killed someone at home. Please come and help. The brother left everything he was doing. He ran to this other brother and said, bro, what happened? Of course, he was shaken and he was coming to help the brother. He says, well, here is a goat. I slaughtered for my friends. But somebody has been telling me that I need to value blood relationship, because these friends are there for you when things are good. But when things go bad, they are not there for you. So bro, forgive me. All this time we have not been talking, but I did not kill anyone. Nimbuzi tu nimeua. And I thought, let me slaughter and see who is my friend, who is going to come to help me. And so that is how they united, and that is how they enjoyed life together.
Wow.
That is a very short story, but I want to engage you today. Tell me,
yes, sir,
any lesson you learned from that story?
Wow. I think for me, I would say the aspect of where you've talked about the blood relationship.
Yeah.
The person that you were born with.
Yeah.
There is something that is important. There is something that is of value that needs to be cultivated. That we are not supposed to let it go because of some struggles here and there. Because it's easy to be drawn away from family. friendship. And it is easy to actually form friendships out there. But with family, sometimes it becomes difficult. And so sometimes we let go. But it is as important to make sure that your blood brother or your blood sisters, that you're united and you're key. They are the people who will come for you and
in a short life that God has helped me to live. I call it short because I'm just a few years short of 50, and there are many who are almost 100. I have seen people in church, in other in other groups, where people say, I don't care about my brothers, I don't care about my sisters. As long as I know I have this friend, I have this other friend. And even in church, in the course of leadership, I have seen that. People come and say, I don't care about my sister. They are witches. They are. And I say, listen, everybody may look like they love you, but wait until that time when you need them comes. I have seen people in churches, I've seen people in the city who never care about their brothers and sisters. Do you know you can never choose your brother, but you can choose your friend?
That's true.
So we never were given a chance to choose who to be our brothers and sisters. The only thing we can do is to love them. We share the blood, we share your mother and your father, they are your brothers. One man, I talked to him one time, and I said, value them, take care of them. He did not care. But guess what happened? He decided to disregard them. He got very sick. Very sick. His friends were around him. Do you know, friends will be there 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. The moment you are bedridden and you need somebody to change your clothing, to wash you, you start realizing very few friends who can stick at that moment. So what happened? What happens? Your own brothers will have to come in. Your sisters will come in. Your mother may even come in. Your father.
That's true.
So what happened is this guy didn't care. When he got very sick, friends were there, they paid bills, they sent you stick by you. They did a few things. But imagine, when he was bedridden, nobody was there for him. And then people started calling his relatives. This is when now you discover they start thinking you have relatives. And the brothers also are already fed up. The man was taken back to the mother. This is a mother you never used to talk to. This is a mother who would call you and you are like, Mommy, I'm in a meeting. This is a mother who you didn't even want to mention before people. And this is the mother who was there for the brother. Let me say a few things. Even though I encourage people to have friends, it should never be to the expense of your own blood brothers and sisters. Are there things that can happen between us and brothers and sisters that can make us not to operate, in love? Are there things?
Yeah, there are many things. Actually, I find it that, for example, kuna kitu wacha niseme na kuzoeana. The aspect of familiarity. You get so much familiarized with your brother and your sister that you think that you just get used to them. So most of the things, even your deeper issues, you don't share with them. You avoid them. You don't have time. I know you love talking about spending time when it comes to family, spending time together. So I think when it gets into that, when you familiarize so much with each other and you think that you know somebody so much, you tend to go the other way. Now you decide to form friends outside the family, because at that place you're not that familiar with that person. But with family, sometimes it becomes so easy to neglect. That is the word, neglect.
Do you know, Jesse, how many brothers do you have?
I have a last born.
One brother. How many sisters?
2.
I have 5 brothers and I have 3 sisters. All of them have their good signs and I would say bad signs.
Wow.
Some of them we fought when we were growing up. Some of them we fought when we are grown up. But I can tell you, every time I meet any of them, I forget about what they don't have and they look at it as an opportunity to thank God. All of them, I can tell you, all of them can come to me anytime and I can call any one of them anytime. And I tell you, not because they are all good. We have our issues. I also have my own issues. But it is a deliberate decision you have to make. I have a brother who I never applied
to be my
for
brother.
to be my brother. I have a sister who I never applied for to be my sister. So what do? Choose to love them. This country, we have to go back again to the brotherly love. We can never talk of loving one another if we can't love our brothers and sisters. We need to go back to that place where you say, if, somebody said, if it is not good at home, you should not export it.
Yeah.
So if you cannot do it at home,
yes.
then it will be very hard to take it outside. If we can love a brother or a sister just because it's a friend you never knew, you just met and you loved each other, then I think you need to ask yourself, how about this person I knew when I was small? Actually, the best way to put it is, I can't tell when I never knew them.
Let me ask you, Apostle, do you think that our brotherly or the family that we come from, don't you think it's, when I hear you speak, it's more like it's a gift that God gave us. So he intended us to, it's like a garden. We have to always tend to it.
Treasure.
It's a relationship.
Yeah.
So don't you think because we know our weaknesses of our brothers and sisters and they know ours, sometimes we tend not to, we feel that we don't want to engage in that kind of relationship because they know too much about ourselves?
Of course they have to. But the truth is, what do? You did not choose. Let me see whether there's something I need to answer before I go very far. I just discovered we are live, and I did not consider that even as we continued. Just in case there's somebody asking me a question, I would want to answer. If there's somebody who is throwing in something I need to dodge, all this must be done in understanding.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes. Where do we check now? I'll be checking very, very fast so that we can answer.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, this is life. We never choose. We don't know who. You cannot choose who to be your sister. It is God who gave you that sister.
Yeah.
And so the best thing you can do is to just love him. Right. Brian Musioki tuned in. Joshua Mode, I know him. Brotherly love, wow. What? Partners, designers, tune in. Asha Mugendi, brotherly love. Joshua, what happens when you have a brother or a sister in church? You mean church compound? All right, church. Who were friends, then they pull away and they refuse to come back in touch. Now, that one, it is not about you. Sometimes there are relationships you try to keep and they can't work. But make sure that you have done your part. Sometimes people really can make it very hard. That's why the Bible says, as much as it is possible. Try as much where it's possible.
It
sometimes
depends on you.
Sometimes it can be that they don't want it. But do it in a way that you don't ever feel like I'm the one who is on the wrong. Let me also say, there is a trend now when you realize things are not working, you are not getting a job, things are not working. So what do? Kwa nabii. And the Nabi looks at you and say, do you have a sister, a younger sister? Yes. Brown like this? Yes. That is the source of your problem. Yeah, amekamata anga. And you never succeed. Let me say this. I have no problem. It is possible. A sister or a brother can be used against you. But it is good for me to say this. Many of the prophecies, and they are not prophecies by the way, that we hear, your sister, your brother is against you. The bigger percentage, they are not, is the cooking of the Nabi. Wow. Oh yes. And the Bible says, you encourage them to dream. If I'm told that the one behind my problems is my sister, I would work very hard to see that somehow we reconcile. Can I tell you? Even if you don't agree with your sister or your brother, if their children came to you, you'll never chase them away.
That's true.
Because these children are innocent.
That's true.
So I would rather help my sister or my brother to continue being with his children. Because if not, then I will have to shoulder the burden.
But Apostle, when you've talked about now, when it depends on you, be at peace with everybody. When it depends on you as make sure that you have relationship.
Yes.
On this story where you talked about of this friend, now I want to go on this other side because for a friend you can vet a friend, vet friendships, but for a brother you don't vet. You find yourself, you have this person that you have to work your relationship with. So sometimes, do you think that sometimes we choose what fits us in relationship? Like, I would rather have a relationship, a friendship with somebody outside there who I'm vetted than having a relationship with my brother who is my blood brother.
But that is normal. Human beings would want to get a softer landing in everything.
Okay.
Nobody looks for trouble. I want trouble. I want problems.
I do not
Always.
want peace.
No, you don't do that. Every time you want somebody who responds nicely to you.
Okay.
You want to be in a place where you don't pay too much. You want to buy something that is not very expensive.
That does
you want
not
to
cost
negotiate. You want something that is possible free.
Yeah.
That is the nature of a human being.
Okay.
But I tell you the truth is, even in family setup, you don't agree with your wife in everything.
That's true.
But that's your wife. Not all the time she'll be singing, waiting for you and dancing for you now that you have come home. Yeah.
But that is the image that we usually have.
Yeah, that is the expectation, but that is not always the truth.
Yeah.
Now, the truth the fact of relationship, facts about the relationship is it depends on us. When you come into a relationship, just come to invest in it. Don't just come to withdraw.
So it's about investing.
It's about investing. What are you doing in this relationship? Many people complain when you ask about their shares, you never see anything. By the way, even in church, many people talk against church. If you ask them about their investment in it, they don't have much. There is nothing to lose. Remember the two women, one who lost the child and the other one, then the year before King Solomon?
Mm-hmm.
One who did not have any investment is the one who was saying, kill, divide it.
Divide it into half.
Yeah, because the high investment is not there. When you know, when you invest in your brothers, when you invest in your sisters, you find yourself being attached to them. But where you're doing nothing, then nothing happens.
Wow.
Let me also answer one more. Asha says, having friends should not be at the expense of your family. Yes, that is very powerful. You top up is an addition, not a replacement.
Do you think we should reflect when Jesus says, when he was talking about when he's offering sacrifices, when he said that when you want to bring an offering, and you remember that you're not okay with your brother, and this time I want to concentrate with your story. When you remember that you're not okay with your brother, you need to go back, make sure you sort out your issues, then you come and give this off. So even with God, he has gifted you the family, the brother, as a gift to you. So you need to tend every time, so that at the end of the day, even if you appear before God, whatever you give, it's a blessing.
You know, God is not interested more with the sacrifice than the giver. Okay. He can actually get it without you offering.
That's true.
I mean, if God didn't wanted a sacrifice of Isaac, he could have done what he did in Sodom and Gomorrah, just release the fire and enjoy the aroma. But he is more interested in the giver than the gift itself.
Yeah.
And that's why he says, leave it there. And sort out these things. Not just because you want the gift, no. It's because really you have a good intention. What you are bringing has no problem. It is you as a problem. Go solve the problem and come back. God is more interested in our hearts than what our hands can give. Because we are not giving God anything that he has not given us.
Everything belongs to him.
Everything belongs to him. It's an honor to return.
Yeah.
So really, he is not asking for what you own or what you have looked for. He has given you, then he is asking. That's why he's saying, these gifts are good, they are okay. But the relationship with your brother and your sister is very important. Go back, take care of that relationship.
Wow.
Lisa and Zara says, brotherly love, awesome topic. Thank you, Lisa, all the way from Lusaka, Zambia. Joshua, invest in one another. Brian, what happened? Should you have limits when investing in relationships? What do you think?
That's a good one. In fact, that's a good one. Actually, it's like he was just reading my mind. Because sometimes I feel you may invest too much and you're disappointed. When you're disappointed, it turns out to becomes bitterness and offense, and you take offense, and that even divides you more.
Yeah, well, I think limits, I don't understand what you mean by limits. Some people say, well, I don't want to go so far, otherwise I'll be hurt. Whether is it emotional investment? Probably. But I think to me is one, be generous. Generosity has no limits. It is about your heart. Some people give very little, but they are very generous. Others give too much, and it's also generous. So generosity is about, it's not about me to measure. But I think there is nothing too much when it comes to investing in love. There is nothing that's too much.
Yeah.
But some people say, well, I don't know about this relationship. I may end up being hurt.
So people put mechanisms that will help them.
Yeah, because they're not very sure whether this is a relationship or not. But for God loved us so much that he gave us his only and everything. When you love, you can give everything, and you can give too much. So I think that way I've answered. Alexander John de Mutume, thank you, sir. Watching from Abba Faith. Yes, you remember the radio where we advertise our meetings, and they are very powerful. They're here in Kayole. Thank you, Mutume. I appreciate. Ruth Jogona, you should invest in a relationship. Let me see properly what she is saying. She says, we should invest in friendship, but comment on one-sided relationship or friendship, where one party really of himself or herself, but the other party don't participate.
This is now the issue of reciprocity, whereby I give and you're supposed to give back. But now this side is the one which is just receiving.
Yes. Yeah, but the river has always been flowing, and I never complain that this time I'm not flowing. Let the well flow. To whom much is given,
much is required.
To me, I think sometimes when you start counting how much you have given, you get discouraged. Imagine how much oxygen have you been, think about the oxygen you have been taking. I think give what God has given you. However, when it comes to this reciprocal, I gave, you gave, it is important that every one of us know you need to invest in the relationship. Okay? Now, somebody else may be investing in a way that you may not know is an investment. Let me give you a story. Something that happened to us 2010. Our father got very sick. I have my brother here in the city. All other brothers and sisters, I have my sister here, and then my other brother, 3 of us here. All others, 5 of them, are in the upcountry. When our father got sick, what happened? I went together with my brother. We picked him, we brought him here. He was diagnosed with liver cancer. He was very sick, and he insisted he doesn't want to stay here. Take me back home. When we took him back home, when we arrived, he was very sick. He never went home after that. So my other brothers were staying with him. One would stay with him during the day, another during the night. Now see, we are here. We could not afford to do that. We had another nephew of ours. That day he had misbehaved. He was expelled out of college, and we were not happy with him. But guess what? It was a blessing in disguise. The fact that he was chased out of school, we didn't need him there to stay with our father. Do you see now? We were so bitter with him, having been expelled out of school. But he turned out to be a big blessing to relieve my brothers who are also working, they are teachers, to be in class. Him, because he is sent out of school, he is here with our father. Look at his investment. We might have invested money in our father, but we did not have the time to invest. The distance did not allow us. So sometimes you may measure your investment in the wrong way and say, I've been giving money, but somebody else has been giving time. So the question is, what have you been investing?
Wow.
I don't know whether I've answered that
Wow,
question.
yeah.
So Ruth, I think that's how to go about it. So keep investing, but also the one you're investing in should reciprocate. They may not give a shilling for the shilling they received, but they can give something else other than money. Somebody else may not give much, but in terms of money, but you can give time. You may not give time, but you can give some words of encouragement. You have something to give. Never allow yourself, never convince yourself that you have nothing to give. There is something to give.
Yeah.
Asha says, among our brothers and sisters, we do our favorites. How does that affect our investment in them?
Very
Wow.
nice.
Yeah, and this one, you cannot do anything. The truth is, you will have favorites. Even Jesus, the Bible says, and the brother that Jesus loved. Not that he hated others.
Yeah.
No, it's only that he found himself favoring others. It happens.
So even
Why?
in the family level.
Even in the family levels.
Yeah.
The truth is, you find there is one who does something that you like and others don't do it.
Or responds faster.
And responds
understands
faster. And is sharp, you know. He is able to check before you sleep, goes around to see whether all the doors are closed.
Yeah.
Now, because of that, you find yourself finding favoring that person.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do nothing about it. The Bible says a man's gift maketh room for him.
That's true.
And sometimes you find that gift is actually making you beloved more than others. That does not mean others are bad. It only means that when it comes to some issues, you have more bonga points.
I love that.
Brotherly love.
I love that.
Joseph Moturi, all of us have something to give. Yes, I agree. All of us have something to give. I think I should actually, nafaa kuapisha mtu ainue mkono haape na hapa ya kwamba hata mimi niko na kitu. Yeah.
People should take an oath.
Yeah, but I tell you the truth.
Yeah.
We should never ever take our brothers and our sisters for granted. If you have a brother, just know that these brothers, you need them.
So we should not take them casually.
Don't take them casually. Yes, yes.
Wow.
But let me see whether I need to answer another question. If I raise before I tell you what next. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to see if. Yeah. So, what happens is in a family, things do happen. One can hurt each other. I mean, you can hurt each other. So, what are the things you need to do? A few things. Number one, learn to forgive.
Okay.
If you have to keep this family relationships, learn to forgive. Because of the proximity to each other. And that is what you talked about, bringing familiarity. Yeah. You hurt each other, you fight each other, but learn to forgive one another. Forgive. Look at your brother and say, bro, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Look at another and say, I'm sorry. This happens. Forgive me. So learn to forgive. Number two, learn to be humble. Because humility will help you calm down and work together. There are people who can never humble themselves, even to ask for forgiveness. They are always on top there. Yeah, learn to say, I am sorry. Learn to say, I need help. Some people are full of pride. They don't even want to answer, even to say, I'm sorry, this happened. You know, it is my chicken that ran into your farm. I'm sorry. You are always, learn to be humble. When you are humble, you are able to accept corrections. I remember one time, this was not actually a brother, but I'll tell you what happened one time. I felt like helping someone. I could see they were struggling. So we did a shopping and I blessed them, just to be a blessing to them. And they returned the food stuff. They say, mumetafuta maskini mukakosa mukaona mulete hapa. Yeah, that's somebody who is not humble. The same person later came to me for another help. And I said, but I thought, where's he maskini? Say, oh, I'm sorry. well, I didn't want to keep the grudge.
Yeah.
I forgave him and helped. That is pride. So I've sinned.
Wow. Learn to be humble.
And be humble.
Learn to forgive.
Learn to forgive. Force yourself to love.
Force. That is the one.
Force. You know what?
Force.
Sometimes it doesn't come automatically. It doesn't come automatically. Sometimes you just force yourself to love. Some things are not automatic. That's why some people are always praying, Lord, I'm praying that I may love them, but I'm not loving them. Do you think Jesus went to the cross laughing and smiling?
No, he was actually...
It was in pain. He said, take away this cup from me.
Yeah,
But he had to do it. Sometimes you force yourself to love your brothers. You force yourself to love your sisters.
So the word is force.
Force yourself.
Force yourself
It may not be automatic, but force them. Sometimes they'll do terrible things and you feel like, I wish they were not born. But remember, it is not you who gave birth to them. Force yourself to love them.
And by the Apostle, you've said something that is very interesting. When you've talked about forcing yourself to love them, when you look at why do these relationships hurt us most, especially from a simple thing like if you disagree with your own brother, it hurts you even more than disagreeing with a friend.
Yes, because there is an expectation. There is always an expectation now that we have grown together. Sometimes, by the way, is what we call, I'm looking for the right one, entitlement mentality. Yeah, you feel entitled. You are my brother, you should do this. I mean, there are people who even camp in someone's house and say, you have not been sending us money every month, we have decided to come and eat it here. Yeah, there is an expectation.
An entitlement.
Yeah, others feel like you are taken to school by our father, you spent our father's money, take us to school. I mean, you also had a father. He was your father. Why didn't you go to school?
Yeah.
And that's why I said, be humble. Choose not to be proud. Even if you are my brother, remember, you don't have to command me. Yes, you don't have to command me. I can choose not to, and I'll be okay. But because of love, please, I'll do it. Don't feel entitled.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the same with the 10 lepers. You remember the story? Yeah. So may I believe the 9 felt like
they deserved.
Because they were, as Jesus said, only this foreigner who came to say thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, so show me the wonders. Show me says, force yourself to love. I'm sure whenever show me this, this is a very strong point, and you should be able to force yourself. If there is someone you have been fighting with, remember, blood is thicker than water. Brotherly love. That's what we are talking about. Force yourself to love them.
And going back to your story, there's something that you said when after he called and said that there's something that has happened in my house. Please come and help me on this. When the friend did not come, but the brother came, the relationship was restored.
Yeah,
did not have even to have a lot of time to get restored.
They did not go back to what used to happen.
Yes.
They both looked at each other and was like, you know what? We need one another. I came because your daughter told me, or son, you have killed someone incidentally. So I've come to help you before you land in trouble. Remember, if you land in trouble, your children become my burden, if I may put it that way.
Yes.
And this other one also learned that I've always taken my brother as my enemy, but he is the only person who could risk for me. And the relationship have levels. And this one is very strong. Brotherly love is very strong.
It's a powerful relationship.
Yeah. So they just ate together.
And they were restored.
Their relationship was restored. And from that time, of course, I don't know whether he continued the other relationship, but he got to know not everybody can put out his neck for you. Yeah.
Only
Not
your
everyone.
brother.
But I'm sure a brother can do that. I give a story that is a bit funny. One time, myself and my bigger brother, we went stealing pounder milk, Me, I was very small. I did not know how to eat it. So I didn't know you are supposed to lick it, slowly. Me, I just put it in the mouth. And it went choking me all the way. So I would try to talk, and guess what? The powder would come out. The powder. I was very small. My brother was slightly bigger. Do you know what he did? He quickly gargled some saliva and he put it in my mouth, and I swallowed it.
Wow.
That is how I was saved. I would have died. The saliva of my big brother saved me. I know some people are ever there. Let me tell you, when you're drowning, anything you find that you can grab, you grab it. Today, I'm very happy because my brother's saliva saved me. And imagine we were kids. I could have died. But the way he thought very fast to save this small brother of his. I owe a lot of love for him. Have we fought with him? We have fought many times after that. But I never forget that this brother saved me. Yeah. I have found other people who have done many other bigger things. But I remember even the story of David, the 3 men who broke through the camp and they brought the water. And the Bible says they were held in high esteem. Even though other people did other things, nobody was brought to be among equal to the 3. Yeah. They risked their life for their king. Brothers can risk for their brothers. Sisters can risk for their brothers and their sisters. And so I want to encourage every one of us, value your brothers, value your sisters. No matter what happens, brotherly love is very important. It's very special. You can't buy it. You can't manipulate it. Receive it. God gave it to us. Wow. I want to stop at that. We will talk about something else next time. For those who have been asking about the story, there is a story. I have killed someone incidentally. Friend, come help me. He never came. Bro, come help. And he came. Treasure the brotherly love. Wow. See you next time. Shalom.